Good day to all. Good day to all. This is another Wednesday live. Introspective little. Anyway, let's start with the thumbnail, which I try my best to make sure that the thumbnail makes a little bit of sense with the video topic, the topic of the live. Um, it was a good quote that I heard, or a good statement that I heard, and it really touched me. And it's basically, um, the real flex is how many wounds you can turn into wisdom. I like that. That's sharp. So let's see here. So the topic of this video, or the title of it, is an open mind about what we're living through in 2024. Okay. Um, had some conversations with my circle, with my some of my mastermind alliance, and this is where I landed with it. Okay. Um, Now, first of all, um, we're living through an amazing time. Uh, I think it's all about how you choose to put it in perspective. It's terrible for some, optimistic for others, but one thing we can all agree on is that there's probably the most uh, transition and change, the most evolution, the biggest, um, the most change where, like, from one year to the next, it's just like you can't even recognize what was going on like 5 years ago. It's like a new world. There was a time where people would go away and be in jail for a decade and come out and kind of could get back in the groove of things. You could be gone for 5 years, three years now, and just checked out of society. It doesn't even have to be jail. Just checked out of something. You come back and you don't recognize nothing. I like to say that I think we're living through the first age in which parents don't even understand the world that they're sending their children out into. They truly don't understand it. Um, mm, that's what's starting to come to pass, I think, or started happening recently, last maybe 15, 20 years. So, anyway, the majority of societies are past leaning, meaning most of a society, a group. Um, I often like to be a little vindictive and say like sheeple, but a group that's being herded, but are the equity of those units of people is set in stone with systems of the past. So a lot of the new stuff that's coming to pass, the new technologies, the new way of thinking, they're not readily absorbed. They're not even welcomed. In fact, they represent a challenge. They represent, um, you know, conflict, and um, it's a lot of friction. Now, friction is good in some situations, but for people who are trying to ride the wave out into retirement, that's not what's welcomed at all. Everything that you knew 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago is what you still want to come to pass, but that is not going to ever happen. Um, you know, um, Evolution is not their friend. Those who are invested in the past so heavily, meaning old systems of uh, wealth, old systems of health, old systems of more education, lots of things. They want to continue to put that high on the marker, but I don't see it working like that. And divisiveness, dividing and conquering, divisiveness is on the rise. I see divisiveness as a sign of a power structure struggling to hold on and going back to the tricks that they know uh, keep them in power. And that's keeping society as a whole, or the population as a whole, as I like to say, humanity, arguing about mundane things. You give somebody a new narrative to argue about, and they generally will do that and get very tribal in that too. You know, so what we need to understand is, I mean, I'm, my skill set of things that I've done, or how I've come across some of the information that I've come across, is interesting. Um, from uh, surfing and gardening, which got me, both of those tie into weather heavily. Um, uh, Plumbing and electrical work, which ties into housing and constructing of that. I wouldn't even say I have a background in construction, but I've built quite a few structures that I've actually spent time and spent nights in, spent years in. So, just the skill sets that you acquire, but my skill sets are in the blue collar style fashion. They're not uh, just technical, just advanced in computer. Now I'm into technology and computers and cameras and mics and surround sound, and we can just name things, but I'm grounded in the blue collar, hands-on physical world of things. And that's probably experiencing of uh, the least amount of upheaval from AI, or the dawning of it, which is basically happening right now. I was looking at a video earlier, and the gentleman, they were talking some high end stuff on AI and things, and they were saying, oh, maybe between 3 to 7 or 8 years, the world's going to be unrecognizable. I don't know. I mean, I'm prophetic in some ways. Some ways I have very good prediction of the future in some ways, but I got to be real. I'm not sure, but I do know that the change is on the horizon and it is impending. It is going to happen. So let's talk about a couple of things that are completely falling apart, and or it's not even that these things are falling apart. The old way of them is falling apart. There's still categories that need to be covered. They just don't need to be covered with the energy that they were born in, or the way they've been um, marketed to us. And we're not advancing with our advancements. And that's what's, I think, a lot of the problem right now. And we're going to see how society degrades into this. But fiat currencies are failing. So fiat currencies is basically our money. How we exchange monetary things. And I mean, we're watching these systems fall apart, and the proof of it is the price of everything. Literally, the price of everything. And see, if one thing is going up and maybe something else is going down, you're just in a fluctuation. Companies are having issues. There could be supply chain issues, things like that. But when Everything is costing more. That is a sign that the dollar is losing value. And that's exactly what we're living through. And to double back to what I was speaking to earlier, to continue to hopefully bring some value in this conversation, or another layer of thought, hopefully, is that so many of our society, if not just about all of our society, is completely bought into uh, fiat currency, our personal currency. And they've also stocked and stored their value in that marker. So it's in dollars. And the dollar doesn't buy what it used to. So we're all literally getting poorer daily. Um, Healthcare, another thing that is definitely hemorrhaging. Now, healthcare is a little bit different issue because it is failing, but it's not really just failing because of the economic situation. It's failing because a lot of its strength was the faith of the people just believing in doctors and the medicine they're pushing. But with the birth of the internet and information, now we are finding ways to heal ourselves, and we're able to hear more alternative modes and methods of healing and dealing with our health and things. And it's broken. Healthcare is broken, and it's running on lies or half truths at best. It's a lot of the mistruth or the dishonesty in it is being exposed. Um, our political system, our government, politics, um, as another small bullet point, just to put some light to. Um, it's biased at best. In fact, that's probably what the definition of politics is just taking a biased side. You're either on the left wing or the right wing, basically, and everything else doesn't even get appreciated or accepted. I feel sorry for my my guy Kennedy Jr., who and Cornell West, and the people who I would love to hear on a debate stage, adding more context to things, especially when we get to that phase, because we're in a election year, and they're going to literally be hushed and shut down, and they're trying to get them out the way right now before they even get to doing debates. It's just so terrible how this system works. But once again, the information age is bringing light to how bad these situations are and how dishonest they are. And lastly, as a small bullet point, I'm going to just say education. Um, it definitely needs a redo. I think a lot of things needs a redo. I think a lot of stuff can use a redo. A lot of things that we are bound by right now was designed without even the ceiling of what we're living through right now, technologically, the way information moves and all this stuff. And the fact that we're not adjusting it or moving things, it's just sad. During this pandemic that we just came out of, or that I think they're still going to keep it alive for a bit. But during the pandemic years, we realized that education and some of the highest institutions available to us are they're able to get their entire package out without you being in person. They can do it uh, via the computer, a camera, Zoom. You can be, so even education. Um, It's designed on an old system of secrets and lies, like the other bullet points I just brought up. Um, this is not Chinese arithmetic. This is not astrophysics or anything complicated or complex. This is simplicity I'm pushing over here. So I'm going to make sure that I bring every point and land it in common sense. And with all of these different things I'm talking about right now, I know that there's one common thing that has not been done that I believe needs to be done and will be a cure all 100% to all of this. And that is unity. And that's what I'm doing over here at Nurturing of Our Humanity. I'm just trying to get us started with that and get some conversations rolling. You know, I'm going to be bringing in more playlists. I'm going to start uploading videos. And by uploading videos, that's going to introduce me into potentially editing and all kind of other things. So right now I'm taking, I guess, kind of the easy route and just doing lives. I do them at an incognito time because I'm really not looking for live viewers, but it would be welcome. And whenever you see this, I would appreciate a thumbs up and a share, but only if you feel that way. Okay. I try my best not to waste any of your time. It's very valuable. I thank you for watching and just being here with me through this. And I'm just trying to get me some time in front of the camera. This is like in the saddle, so I can prepare for the future that I'm seeing, where this is how I'm going to try to make my difference in the world potentially, or at least leave a big piece of my legacy behind for my children, grandchildren, and for anybody who's interested in what I'm talking about. And I truly believe that the new genre that's going to dominate these mediums before they take them away from us is going to be conscious information. It's going to be people that want to learn how to maximize stuff, how to grow their own food, how to make seeds. This is in my wheelhouse, and that's what I'm looking to come here and share. So anyway, I hope I can bring some value to you, and I hope you get value from this. All right. And I'm just going to say peace to King Nip. All right. And you guys, this is another Wednesday. And this is your boy G over here, your brother at Nurturing of Our Humanity. And I'm signing off. I'll catch you guys next week with another one. Till then, peace.